It is another beautiful day for baseball at the Oakland Coliseum opening week.
Hello, sports fans. It's me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke. Today I am here with Game 2 of our second round-robin series between the 1988 A's and the 1965 Boston Red Sox. If you recall, and if you watched, the Boston Red Sox lost Game 1 by the score of 3-1, and we are going to Game 2. Remember, in the second round, we are doing a best of 5, so Game 2 is also in Oakland. So that means Boston is up first. On the mound today, and the lineups are the same as in Game 1. On the mound today for Oakland is Dave Stewart, who is just finishing taking his warm-up throws. And you can see I've got his card out there in the middle of the diamond, ready to pitch. And he's going to pitch to the leadoff hitter for the Boston Red Sox here in the first inning, Dalton Jones. And he gets a 3-7, which is a ground ball to third base, and he is out. That brings up Felix Mantilla. He gets a 1-2, which is a pop out to short, and he is out. So Dave Stewart quickly gets rid of the first two guys. And Karol Yastrzemski, the third hitter, is up, and he gets a 6-6, which is a double 1-4 or a single. Wait a minute. Nope, that's a fly ball to center. Sorry, my mistake. So Boston goes 1-2-3 there in the first inning. And that brings up the A's. And Stewart goes back to the dugout, and we will put out the Jim Lonborg card, which I did not have one of him, so I drew one. I did not draw all of the Red Sox, so we don't have any Red Sox hitters that'll ever be appearing. It'll just be the Boston tokens for them. But at least we have a Lonborg pitching card that I drew that we can put out on the mound. So Louis Polonia's up. He gets a 4-12, which is a ground ball to the pitcher B, one away. Lonborg throws him out. That brings up Dave Henderson. He gets a 3-4, which is a ground ball to short. He's out. 2 away, and Lonborg gets rid of the first two guys quickly, just like Stewart did, and Canseco comes up, and he gets a 3-7, which is a double 1-16. And he does get a double. So we will go find Canseco's card, because I know we have it. And let's go. There he is. He's up at second base. And that brings up Mark McGwire, the Bash brother, the fellow Bash brother. And he gets a 5-9 on Lonborg's card, which is a strikeout. And that's the first strikeout of the game. So Canseco had a double, and McGwire struck out. And the A's got nothing in the first. Canseco goes out to his position, actually. And we will have Stewart on the mound. And that brings up Tony Conigliaro in the top of the second inning. He gets a 4-9, which is a ground ball second base, so he's out. Lee Thomas is up. He gets a 3-4, which is a ground ball to the pitcher A. That's 2 away. And that brings up Rico Petrocelli. And he gets a double 1-9 or a single. And that's going to be a single for Rico Petrocelli. So that's the first hit allowed by Stewart. Man on first, 2 down. And that brings up Lenny Green, and he pops out to second base, and he is retired. So no runs for Boston. In the second inning, we go to the bottom of the second. And up steps Carney Lansford. We're going to send Stewart back to the dugout, put Lonborg back out on the mound. Carney gets a 4-8, which is a strikeout. One away. Carney Lansford just missing a home run. But it's actually Lonborg's second strikeout. And Steinbach steps up. He gets a 2-12, which is a fly ball to right field. He is out. And that brings up Walt Weiss, and he gets a 1-6, which is a pop out to second. We go to the top of the third. And out to the mound goes Stewart for his third inning of work. And facing him in the box is Frank Malzone, and he gets a 4-7, which is a single. So Malzone with a hit. He is 2 for 5 in the series, not doing too badly, and that's the second hit allowed for Stewart. Bob Tillman's up. He gets a 5-6, which is also a single. So they get the first two guys on against Stewart, mounting a little mini rally from the bottom of the lineup. And that's the first hit of the series for Tillman. Third hit allowed by Stewart, who is in a little bit of a jam here, and Dalton Jones up, and he gets a 6-8, which is a fly ball to center field. So there's one away. Dalton Jones flies to center. Felix Mantilla up. He gets a 4-5, which is a walk. So that loads up the bases. And now they really are in trouble, because now the Yaz Master is coming up with the bases loaded and only one away. And he gets a 1-9, which is a ground ball double play. And the A's had the infield back because it was early in the game, and I don't like bringing the infield in. So it would have been a hit, but it wasn't because the infield was not in. And in fact, it was a double play, and the Red Sox are out of the inning with no runs. So that will put Lonborg back out on the mound. He's been pitching great. He's been pitching even really so far, you'd have to say, better than Dave Stewart even. And Stan Javier is up. He gets a 3-7, which is a single 1-19. Seems reasonable that he's going to have a single, and he does barely get it. Let me see. I think I might have a Javier. I do. So we'll put Stan Javier out at first. Javier, whatever you want to say. He gets a single. Lonborg, that's the first hit he's allowed. And Javier can steal. He is going to try to steal. And he gets a 17. I don't know if that's going to be... And that's an A. It's a 1-15, so he is gunned. He's out. So, yeah, he's erased. One away. We're going to put it down. Caught stealing for Javier. And Glenn Mother Hubbard comes up. He's a 1-3 ground ball B to second base. So that's two away. And that brings up Polonia. And he gets a 5-7, which is a walk. So Polonia, let me see if I have... I don't think I have Polonia. Oh, I do. I do have Polonia. All right, so he walks. So he's at first base. I think I have everybody now. I've dug them up. I went back through my cards, and I've dug up, I think, everybody at least in the A's starting lineup. So Dave Henderson's up with 2 down. That's a 5-9, and that is a strikeout. So that will be, I believe, the last out of the inning for the A's, who are retired. And we go to the top of the fourth. Top of the fourth. Stewart back out to the mound, hoping he doesn't get into as much trouble as he did last inning with Tony Conigliaro up. He gets a 3-5, which is a strikeout. That is, surprisingly, the first K of the game for Stewart. Lee Thomas is up. That's a 3-6, which is a walk. Lee Thomas gets aboard with a walk. brings up Petrocelli. He gets a 2-9, which is a strikeout. That's 2 away. And that brings up Lenny Green. And Lenny Green gets a 6-4, which is a home run 1-3 or a fly ball. And that's going to be a fly ball to the left fielder, and Lenny Green is out. Came close to giving the Red Sox a lead, but not quite. No cigar there, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. And we will put Lonborg back out on the mound. He's pitching well. Canseco up. He gets a 6-9, which is a ground ball to second base. He's out. Brings up Mark McGuire. He gets a 4-8, which is a strikeout. They are just dancing around, all kinds of hits and on base for Lonborg, but he is only given up 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 4, and Lansford comes up and gets a 4-3, which is a ground ball to the first baseman, so Lansford is retired. And we go to the top of the 5th, still no score. Lonborg and Dave Stewart. Frank Malzone up against Stewart. He gets a 6-8. And that is going to be a fly ball to center field, 1 away. Malzone is out. Got a hit his last time up. Bob Tillman's up. He gets a 6-5, which is a double 1-4 or a single. And that is going to be a single. So Bob Tillman is aboard with a single. Dalton Jones comes up. He gets a 2-7, which is a single. I got a sinking feeling I'm doing this, that it should be the A's that are up, but we'll see. I mean, if it is, it is. That's part of doing the card and dice. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. So there's a hit. 4 hits allowed for Stewart with 1 out, 2 runners on. Mantilla up. He gets a 4-2, which is a walk and loads the bases. This is going to be bad if they really shouldn't be batting right now.
Is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
But again, that's human error. It's kind of like write it off like the umpire. Karl Yastrzemski's up. He gets a 3-11, which is a ground ball into a double play. So just like he did last time, he hits into a double play at second base. No runs come in for Boston. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. And Lonborg goes back out to the mound. Steinbach up. He gets a 4-6, which is a fly ball to right field, 1 away. Steinbach is out. We go, Walt Weiss is the next batter. He gets a 3-12, which is a single. And I do have I'm pretty sure I got a Walt Weiss. I do. So Walt Weiss is on board with a single, with 1 out. And he is 4 for 6 in the series. Javier comes up. He gets a 6-9, which is a ground ball second base C. That'll move Weiss to second, but there's 2 down. So let's see, Javier out. And that brings up Glenn Mother Hubbard. And he gets a 3-6, which is a single. I don't know if they're going to send Weiss. But first, let's get the base marker out there for Glenn Mother Hubbard, who just hit the single. The hit allowed by Lonborg and Weiss is a 1-13. They're not going to do it. There's 2 outs. They're going to let the offense try to come through for him with Polonia up at the plate, and he gets a 6-7, which is a double 1-8 or a single. And he will, and he actually comes through with a double. Polonia with a double. Which knocks in at least one, well, no, it knocks in at least 1 run. And that was Polonia. So, let's see if they want to send Glenn Hubbard. I'm going to say I doubt it. Yeah, he's a 1-12, so they're not going to do that. So it's still station to station with bad runners on board. But Polonia does get an RBI. And that's 1 earned run for Lonborg. And Henderson comes up and he gets a 5-8. Which is a triple 1-2 or a double. That's going to knock both runners in. And that is going to be a double by Dave Henderson. And this is where the A's offense is coming through. Hit allowed by Lonborg and 2 more runs. And we put Dave Henderson's card out there. Up at second base. With Canseco up, McGuire after him, so they're going to pitch to him, and he strikes out. But Lonborg they get to Lonborg in the bottom of the 5th, the A's do, and they get 3 runs off of him. And that'll send Dave Stewart back out there now with a 3-run lead, a comfortable, far more comfortable 3-run lead. And the Red Sox have got to get something going here pretty soon. Canigliaro is up. He gets a 1-4, which is a fly ball to center. That's 1 away. Lee Thomas is up. He gets a 3-3, which is a ground ball to second. That's 2 away. And that brings up Rico Petrocelli. He gets a 1-8. That's a ground ball to the third baseman, and he is out. So, nothing mounted at all there for the Red Sox. And so we go to the bottom of the 6th. And we have Stewart going back to the dugout. And Lonborg back out to the mound, even though he gave up 3 runs last inning. Overall, considering the power of this lineup, the way this, how good this lineup is, he's not pitching that poorly. Mark McGuire's up, and he gets a 2-8, which is a home run. Mark McGuire going deep and giving them, the A's, a 4-run lead now. So we'll rub it in a little bit. And let's see, where's the McGuire card? There it is. McGuire first, second, third, runs home. How do you like that? Carney Lansford's up. He gets a 4-11, which is a walk. So now Lonborg is just really kind of falling apart. He's just completely falling apart. And Lansford is aboard with a walk. Still no outs. Steinbach is up. He gets 3-8, which is a walk. And now there's going to be action in the, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Liba. He's up in the pen. Walt Weiss is up at the plate. No outs yet. And that is a 4-7, which is a ground ball to the second baseman. The second baseman is, for the Red Sox, a 4. And that's Jones, and that's a 6. That's going to be a lot of bad stuff happening there. That's going to be a single 1. So, that's a base hit for Weiss. So now the bases are loaded with A's. Weiss he's 5 for 7 on the series, and that brings up Javier. The Red Sox have to play the infield in because they've already given up 4 runs and have nothing. So that's a 2-8, which is a ground ball third base A, but that just cuts the run off, and that is, let me see. Let me make sure of that. Infield in, ground ball A, out, runner on third holds. Okay, so runner on third holds. So you still have this situation with Javier having been out. And that's 1 out. And that brings up Glenn Mother Hubbard. He gets a 6-10, which is a fly ball to center. The center fielder is Lenny Green, and he's a 2. And that's going to be a 12 and a 2. 12 and 2 is an out 5. Runner on third scores. So that is another run. Lansford comes in. Hubbard gets an RBI. And that is the 5th run allowed. And that is going to be it for Lonborg. He goes 5 2/3. He was pitching quite well, but then he hit a real what do you want to say, a problem. I'm just going to say that. So Bob DeLiba comes in. Bob DeLiba in 1965 was 4-2 with a 3.80 earned run average. And now he'll be facing, and now that means Lonborg is not out there. And so now we're on a Boston token on the mound. Polonia up at the plate, and he gets a triple 1-14 or a double. And that's going to be a double. And so Polonia, that means a Steinbach comes home. Weiss goes to third. Polonia is at second with, I believe, his second double of the game. DeLiba gives up the hit, but both runs are, or I think that was just 1 run. Yeah. That run is charged to Lonborg. And that brings up Dave Henderson, and Dave Henderson gets a 2-9, which is a home run 1-19. Are you kidding me? And it is. So Dave Henderson takes it deep, and that's a 3-run shot. So even if I had missed on who should have scored in that last one, 1, 2, 3, he came home now. That's a home run allowed by DeLiba, and one of those runs is still Lonborg's, and then the other 2 are DeLiba's. And that brings up Canseco, who gets a 2-8, and that's finally a strikeout. And DeLiba with his first strikeout, but now the damage is really, really, really done. 7, 8, 9. 6 runs come in for the A's in the bottom of the 6th, fittingly. And so they lead 9-0 now. And that will take Stewart back out to the mound. And we have Boston up. They will have Lenny Green going up against Stewart. Of course, now they have their work cut out for him. 5-9. That is a walk. So Lenny Green is aboard with a walk. Stewart not pitching, especially, he's not especially sharp here, but it doesn't really seem to matter now. Malzone is up, and that's a 5-7, which is a strikeout. One away. Malzone gets struck out. And Bob Tillman's up. He gets a 4-7, which is a single. So now they have 2 on with 1 out. But again, to come up with 9 runs just seems really unlikely. Dalton Jones up. He gets a 2-7, which is a single 1 asterisk, so the bases are loaded. Well, I guess Boston is saying, as unlikely as that is, watch us do it. Mantia's up. He gets a 4-9, which is a ground ball, second base C. The A's did not have the infield in because there was no reason to, so a run did score, and there's 2 away. And Stewart gives up a run. And Karol Yastrzemski's up. He gets a 5-6, which is a single, and that knocks in another run. They need runs, so they're not going to try to stretch hits. They need base runners and runs. They don't need to be getting thrown out at the plate. So that's the second run. Canigliaro is up. He gets a 6-5, which is a double 1-4 or a single. And that is going to be a double. So that's going to knock in a run. Again, same rule. We're not going to try to stretch it at all. Not even going to consider it. Because this is exactly what they need to be doing. That's the third run that comes in. Lee Thomas is up. He gets a 2-9, which is a home run 1-3, or a double. And that will be a double. And that is going to score 2 runs. Lee Thomas knocks in 2 runs with a double. All right, hold up. Let's not count them out just yet, because now it's 9-5. And Rico Petrocelli comes up, and he gets a 3-7, which is a single 1-16. And that is a single. Runners are at the corners. So Dave Stewart is really, he's falling apart. Ten hits now given up by Stewart, and that brings up Lenny Green, and Lenny Green gets a 1-7, which is a ground ball B, and ends the inning. But the Red Sox do score 5 in the 7th, and it is now 9-5. So we'll see what happens next inning when the A's go back out to the field, whether Dave Stewart will still be pitching or not, or perhaps not. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mark McGwire up. He gets a 4-11, and on Dubin, that's a walk. So McGuire's aboard with a walk. Duba, I'm thinking, really not that good. Or Duliba, not that good. So walk for McGwire. And they really are now motivated to look for somebody else. But really, I mean, there's 2 guys out here that are just complete crap. In the bullpen. So Arnold Early is up in the pen. We have Carney Lansford up at the plate with Mark McGwire aboard. He gets a 5-3, which is a ground ball to the pitcher. The pitcher is a 4 defensively. That's not going to help his cause, probably. 18-4 is out with no runners. So it's fielder's choice, and Lansford is aboard. So Lansford making the out, essentially. One down, and Steinbach up. And he gets a 1-4, which is a pop out to second. That's 2 away. And that brings up Walt Weiss. And that is a 5-11. And that is a first base X. The first baseman is a 3. And that's a 5. 5 and a 3 is an out. So Weiss is out, and they don't get any runs there. And we are going to have a new pitcher. Let's go find who we're going to bring in. In the top of the 8th, in a 9-5 game, Malzone is up. He gets a 1-6, which is an out, 1 away. And that was a ground ball to the third baseman. Bob Tillman's up. That's a 6-7. 6-7 is a strikeout. Tillman striking out. And we got to write Plunk in here. Sure, he wants credit for everything he's doing. So Stewart went only 7, right? Yes. He went 7 and he allowed 5 runs. And Dalton Jones is up, and that's a 1-9, which is a single. So Dalton Jones gets a single, the leadoff hitter. And he's 5 for 9 in the series. First hit allowed by Plunk. And Mantia's up. He gets a 4-7, which is a ground ball to the second baseman. The second baseman is Hubbard, and he's a 3. And that's a 17 and a 3. And that is a roll again. And that's an 18 roll again. And that's an 8, probably an out. And it is. So Mantia was out, and they get no runs in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Put the Boston pitching token out there, and it is going to be Arnold early. So Deliba only pitches 1 1/3, I believe. Yeah. And then that's going to bring early out. It's going to bring early out early. No, not really. And he'll pitch to Stan Javier. And that is a 2-5, which is a strikeout, 1 away. Hubbard is a 6-6, and that's going to be a double 1 to 12. And that's going to actually be a single. So Hubbard with a single. Not doing bad in the series. He's 3 for 6. So he is aboard. That brings up Polonia with 1 down and 1 on. And he gets a 2-9, which is a ground ball to second base double play. So Polonia grounds into a double play. Ends the inning for the A's. We go to the top of the 9th. Boston has got to have 4 runs right here off of Eric Kerplunk. Seems unlikely, but then again, they did have a 5-run inning back in the 7th, so we'll see. Yastrzemski leads off. He gets a 3-10, which is a walk. And in 1988, Plunk was 7-2 with a 3 earned run average, 3.00 earned run average in 78 innings pitched. And Yaz just walked. First walk issued by Plunk. Canigliero's up. That's a 4-4. That's going to be a walk. So Plunk walks the first two batters. Let's see what happens here. Canigliero. Board with a walk. And that brings up Lee Thomas. And Lee Thomas gets a 4-9. Which is a walk. He's walked the bases loaded. And so now there is going to be some activity in the A's bullpen. Enrico Petrocelli is going to bat with the bases loaded and no outs. And he gets a 1-6, which is a ground ball B, but that to third base. But that does score a run, as the A's did not need to bring the infield in, or didn't feel like that was what they had to do right there. So that's an RBI, Plunk allowing a run, and that's the 6th run for the Red Sox with Lenny Green up. He gets a 1-9, which is a fly ball center field B. That's the second out, but another run comes in. Lenny Green knocks in a run. And now they will probably allow Plunk to try to finish here. Malzone comes up. He gets a 6-4, which is a fly ball to center field, and the center fielder is a 2. That's Dave Henderson. And that's an 8. So let's see if that's anything. I don't think it is, and it isn't. It's an out. It's really what it is. So that does end the game. Malzone is the last out. And it was touch and go there for Plunk, but he did get through it